everyone.
Hello, everybody. This is Omar Serrano. I'm joined by Cassidy O'Connell to recap episode 4 of the Alex Murdaugh Hulu TV melodrama. What's up, Cassidy?
Hey, I'm just sipping on some port here, trying to chill, hoping I can sleep at a decent time tonight.
I don't quite have a mega pint. I don't know what you would call this. How many ounces is this? It's enough. My wife refills like, hey, did you just mix my wine with something else? I'll tell you what, even if she did, I don't think that I would be able to notice the difference. You know, could you tell the difference between, say, like $100 bottle of wine and, say, 8?
Probably if I drank one right after the other.
I really can't, man.
Hand me one and ask me if it's expensive or not. No. When I was on the flight to Germany, I had just they'd served our drinks and I was sipping a red wine. And I came to the galley, and one of the girls was like super sweet to me, and she's like, did you have the French one? And I said, no. Oh, I said, I just had whatever was on the cart. And they go, oh no, you got to try this. And I thought, well, I said to her, I won't notice the difference. And then she poured it, and I was like, oh, this is very, very different. So like right after the other, I could tell. And I dumped the one I had and switched. But if you just handed me one, I'm not that refined. I've
only gone on wine tastings with my wife, and we've gone to maybe like 3 or 4. And every single time it's like, okay, this time you're going to taste like citrus and plum and cranberries or like, let me see. So what did you taste? It's like, it fucking tastes like wine. I don't know. I don't taste any of that shit. It's like, well, let me try again. All right. Oh yeah, totally. There's like hazelnut in there and some cinnamon, a little bit of
it's never what they say.
I don't taste anything.
Yeah.
How do you get like acetone out of it? Acetone? Why is that like a pleasurable flavor? Get out of here with that.
Oh, when I was in Germany, I went to this castle, Heidelberg, and they have the largest wine barrel in the world.
Oh, boy.
And we walked in and I see this barrel and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so big. And I'm taking all these pictures. And then I find out that's not it at all. It's in this whole room and it's like over 2 stories tall. It is humongous. Like you walk up flights of stairs and you can they've got a platform on the top you walk around on, then you come down the other side, this dramatic spiral staircase. It is huge. And what they did is like back when it was an operating castle and they had all their land, people would have to pay like a tithe to the castle for being able to farm on it. And it was wine country.
How could they possibly determine what a tithe would be?
I don't know, but what they paid in wine. So they would bring their wine, and you've seen it, Checker. Isn't it huge? It is massive. And so they would all contribute. So this wine barrel was probably the grossest wine ever made because it was just everybody's different wine just all poured into the same barrel. And then they would. Can you imagine how gross that would be? It had to have been disgusting.
Prison wine. I wouldn't drink.
Yeah, that's what I would think, because it's just everybody's wine, all different and just like thrown together. And that's what they would drink for the big banquets at the castle.
YSS 1944 says wine tasting is a scam. I'm inclined to believe that. You know what? I have a collection of cigars, and like you'll have like these cigar aficionados, they'll do the exact same thing. Oh, this is what you're going to taste. You're going to taste some notes of baked bread and cinnamon and nutmeg and maybe a little dark cocoa, a little bit of earth. You're going to taste earth. You're going to taste some coffee beans, some grounds. And get the fuck out of here. It tastes like a cigar, man. How about that?
Yeah.
I could give you, a $50 cigar, Cohiba, Bahiki, 1964, whatever, and like a Macanudo, whatever, Vegas 5, Connecticut shade wrapper. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. I will say this: I can tell the difference between a really good cigar and a really bad one. But when they say that they could taste like baked bread and pine nuts and like amaretto and vanilla and hints of like ice cream sodas, like fuck off. None of that exists. I promise you're not going to taste that. Anyway, if you guys see me turning off my cameras because my camera is glitching, because I use my cell phone as my camera, one of these days I'm going to bring my real camera from my office because I stream mostly from here nowadays. but it's not today. So how about that?
Yeah,
So
I
let's
didn't
get
even
into this episode. What did you think about this episode 4? Did you get a chance to
this was a
rewatch it?
yeah, and it's a good one. It has so much stuff crammed into it. And to
Yeah.
me, this was like this is where the storm starts to get a little dangerous and you start to think you're going to head to your basement. Like
Yeah.
from episode 1, we've seen the storm coming, the one that Creighton Waters talked about in the trial. But I feel like
Right.
this was a turning point where it starts to get like where you're like, okay, might need to take cover. So many things happen in this one. And I finally figured out what is that stuff called? Kudzu? Kudzu, the thing that's like taken over the sunflowers, was like, this has got to be symbolic of something. And I think I finally figured it out.
What is it? Is it about the slow burn, which is the title of the episode?
Well, because in the end he burns it. Okay, so here's what's happening. As we know, Gloria was very religious. And so she was
Yes.
like telling him to pray, and that just like in the last episode when they went to Kokomo and he's like, I'm going to go to hell and no one's God can't forgive
Right.
me and all this stuff. And so she's talking about, and he's starting to believe, and he tells his mom that he's been praying. And then when Gloria dies and he's standing there and he's so messed up at her funeral, and he goes, if all of this couldn't help her, I can't remember exactly what he says, but it's like, if all this can't help her, then who can it help? So he loses his faith. So all along, like, he's been trying to clear the sunflower field, and his dad keeps saying, burn
Mm.
it down, burn it down, burn it down. And he doesn't want to. He's like, no, I can do this. And if I burn it down, they won't grow in time for dove season. And so he's thinking, he's got the faith that he's going to do it. And then after Gloria's funeral, it's like all gone. Like, he says that at her funeral, and then the next scene with him in it is him burning the sunflowers. So I think that that's what it represents. That's what it's symbolic of. Like, he had some sort of faith that things were going to be okay, and then when she died, that was just kind of it. And then
That's
he just
actually really good.
torched her.
I mean, the religious who produced this episode? Do you know? I forget who produced the episode, but the entire show is written with extreme religious undertones, like you said, and 100%. What you just described, it's symbolic, and it kind of follows this trajectory that we've been examining, which is Paul. This is what I've gathered from it. Alec is the devil. He's the devil. He doesn't give
Yeah.
a shit about who he hurts, who he runs over. He wants to be seen as the family man, the legendary lawyer, the big man in town in South Carolina or whatever it is. He is the county solicitor. He stomps on everything, and he's going to be the guy no matter where it is. And it doesn't matter who dies. It doesn't matter who lives. It doesn't matter whom he steals from. It doesn't matter if he hurts your feelings. He has to have an image, and he sold his soul for something already. Paul, who in this episode is like 17, I think, has not reached that level. And he might be, the way that this episode portrays him, incapable of reaching that evil pinnacle that his father has reached. And there's a number of things, like everything that Alex does is calculated. Like, there was a moment in the show where his wife wanted to do something nice, or like send Paul to rehab because it was going to help him. It's like, do you know that they're like in the middle of trying to sue him, and it's going to look bad for the civil case, and
that's true. I told you I got Blanca's book. I've been reading it, and she says that in there, that Maggie had wanted to get Paul in rehab for a while, and Alex would have nothing to do with it.
It's bad for the case. How could he possibly? And, so this is just a condensed summary of what happened in episode 4. So they start the episode. Gloria Satterfield.
You want to go ahead and I can't. I don't have control of the.
Oh yeah. I wish I could like give you control.
Put the opening. Once you open it, I can move it along.
Oh, cool. All right. If you need me to do something else, just let me know.
Yeah. So when we get to the end of this, then and each of the scenes are pretty short. So like, this is him in the kudzu, and apparently kudzu was introduced from Asia it was meant to it's like really good ground cover, and it was meant to cure soil erosion,
Does
but
it?
it does, but it also takes over. And these plants, it's not native to the area, so these plants are just
Hmm.
like helpless against it. So it just like took over,
Right.
and now they have to fight it away, and they'll never be rid of it.
So the condensed summary of this episode is as follows. We ended episode 3 with Gloria Satterfield. She falls. She's hospitalized. I mean, I thought that she was dead, but she wasn't dead. She held on for a little bit. And then in this episode 4, they let us know that she's hospitalized because of the fall. Alex is facing mounting financial strain because of the Mallory Beach lawsuit, which was previewed in episode 3. Like he goes, hey, just so you know, finish your breakfast and all, but there's a process server over there, but I told him not to bother you while you're eating. So he's like, well, I appreciate the heads up, dick. And then
and then throws his plate.
and he throws his plate of food and whatever. And so after that, he learns that his insurance is only going to cover part of the settlement. He's going to basically have to come out of pocket with like $1 million to cover what he thought was going to be a fair settlement. And so he's scrambling. Gloria's condition gets worse. None of the Murdaughs are visiting her in the hospital, in spite of the fact that she is like their housekeeper and she's supposed to be
for 20 years.
Yeah, like over 20 years, like part of the family. Nobody's going to visit her. They don't give a shit about her. Maggie is offering Gloria's son like cash as a gesture. Just, hey, just trying to be like empathetic. I don't know. Thinking that it's going to fix anything, but it's extremely tone deaf because, thanks for that. But my mom is about to die. And then Gloria ultimately dies. Alex orchestrates a $3 million insurance payout that's supposed to go to her sons, but he pockets it for himself. They highlight Paul's emotional downward spiral. He's racked with guilt, PTSD, following that thing from episode 3, from the boat crash. He's becoming increasingly isolated. He's becoming increasingly like emotionally fragile, I would say. He has this talk with Anthony, Mallory's boyfriend. I gotta tell you, the actor that plays Mallory's boyfriend, he's just mismatched, man. He's not a bad actor. What can I say about this guy? He just overacts to the point where it's almost comical.
Yeah.
Like when he's trying to portray emotion, it just never comes off properly. I don't know. What do you think about him?
I agree. It's one of the castings that I'm not pleased with. I think overall they cast people so well, but I think because we saw enough of Anthony in the documentaries, we kind of feel like we know his mannerisms, his voice, his personality a little bit. And he's such a sweet, like he just seems like a really sweet guy. And so I think because I have so much feeling for Anthony, because I have the police video of that night, and he's just wailing. The man is in so much, and he's already like been in the icy cold river trying to find her, and the police are having to physically hold him back because he wants to go back in again. He's just like desperate because he knows she's in there and he wants to find her, but it's impossible,
I will say this though, there was one line that I thought was really good. I don't know if it was in spite of whatever the acting faux pas were with this young man. There was one line that struck me. It was like, I was going to marry that girl. What am I supposed to do with that now?
Didn't that break your heart?
Well, it was congruent with the documentary representation of the actual young man who was saying the same stuff.
Yeah, and his mom told the story. He was saying if she comes out of that water, I'd marry her right now, because they were looking for her still.
Yeah,
but
and so I don't know. All I'm saying is I'm not criticizing his acting performance because I couldn't do. I mean, how do you play like distraught, like emotional, and all? That's really difficult to do for like an A+ lister actor. And this guy was doing his best. I'm just saying that his acting performance is overshadowed by the extremely like unreal talented cast that he's surrounded by.
Yeah, because
And
the
it's
others are
distracting a little
so
bit.
good. Yeah.
It's a little bit extracting. So anyway, so he has his moment with Paul. Mandy Matney starts digging deeper, looking into the death of Stephen Smith. We're reintroduced into that case, and they start suspecting a Murdaugh cover-up. By the end of the episode, Alex, his world is closing in, his finances, all of his lies, all of it is unraveling. He's talking about a settlement. He tries to make a settlement with your guy. What's his name? Tinsley.
Mm-hmm.
And that completely blows up. And then Tinsley's like, oh yeah, well then we're gonna go scorched earth. You really want me digging around your finances, bud?
Yeah. It was
Insinuating
such
that
a
he kind
stupid
of
move.
knew that what was up.
Yeah.
By the
It
way,
was such a stupid move of Alex to do that. It was just his pride got in the way.
I wondered, I wondered so much about a man in his position, him being an attorney. The move 100% was to settle that case and to fix things like on the low, right?
And he could have done that.
He
He
could
could
have.
have done that. And
I
instead,
wonder.
his pride got in the way.
I just wonder
And
if he thought that it was. I don't know. Was that ego or was that some kind of miscalculation in terms of litigation strategy? Because look, he's stealing money from his clients. He was going to steal the $3 million from Gloria. They're supposed to go to her boys.
let's get through these. You want
These things. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go to
So
scene 1
yeah.
or wherever you want to start. I'll let you
So
take the lead.
yeah. So it seems like there's so many, but it's because there's so few words on each picture. So
Yeah.
like this is what you were talking about. So
Yes.
here's his problem. Because what he did, and this really happened, he got so much out of the Gloria Satterfield settlement, and he fought his insurance so viciously and so hard because he wanted that money
Yeah.
that he did not have coverage anymore to cover this boat. He ends up, there's another case like trying to sue his insurance company because they're saying they're not going to cover it. So in here he's talking about being covered by his insurance, but he between all of Paul's accidents and what he did with the Gloria Satterfield, he does not have coverage when he really, really needs it. And he really, really needs it now for this boat case. So they're having this conversation at the law firm, and this is his dad on the left and his brother on the right. And so this is Paul's grandpa, and he's like, well, if the boy didn't have accidents every month. So here's what they're trying to come up with. So this guy doesn't exist. He's kind of, they call him Billy. It's not a real person, but he kind of plays the role of a bunch of people, and he serves as like a narration, so like he can fill in parts of the story that don't have to be acted out. So what he's talking about is how it's working out, because multiple people are being sued for this boat case. So there's Alex, there is and Maggie, because Paul used Maggie's credit card to buy the liquor, and Buster, because Paul used Buster's driver's license as his ID. They went to an oyster roast, and they were drinking there, and everyone knew they weren't old enough to drink. So the people who hosted the oyster roast that they went to that night were sued. Then on their way back, they stopped in Beaufort at a bar, and they had more drinks, and then they went on from there. And so that place was sued too. So there were multiple people being sued. So what he's talking about here, oh, hey, Lauren, sorry for your loss. I was watching your amazing stream earlier. I missed you by 26 minutes.
I missed her
But
stream. She says, I never met a guy named Billy who was good news. Sorry, I don't know what's happening in the stories. Exactly.
well, Billy's the guy that, oh, an oyster roast is paradise. It is heaven. It's just what it sounds like. It's oysters and you roast them, and they are so, so yummy.
I'm not an oyster guy, man. I gotta tell you, I love
Have you
seafood.
only had them raw though?
I can not do the raw oyster thing. It's disgusting. That's disgusting.
If you have them roasted, it's much better.
I would probably try them roasted, but like when they're all slimy like that,
Yeah.
Lauren she left a heart. It's good to
Aw.
see Lauren up. It's like
Yeah.
it's like 12:30. It's not that late where she's at. She's like a zombie. Not a zombie. She's like a vampire. She's not a vampire. What am I trying to say? She's a night owl. She's
Yeah, me
nocturnal.
too.
That's
Yeah, mine too. It's a curse. But I just read today that it's a sign of intelligence. I'll take it. It's probably not true, but I'll
well,
take
that's
it.
what I tell myself, but it might be a sign of I don't know, the R
So
word that I
it's
won't
gonna
say.
cause you dementia though, if you can't get
No,
your sleep
yeah.
time.
Hey, 100%, man. I hear
That's what I
that if
get
you
sleep
get as little sleep as I do, as I'd imagine you do, you're going to get dementia someday. So
Yeah,
when that
it's
happens,
tyranny.
my instructions to my wife is, look, if I ever just wander off, just leave me out there. I'll I'll be fine.
So this is what Billy's going through. He's talking about all the other places where they're getting money. So they're getting 1.5 million from the gas station. That's Parker's. That's the one I want to get you into this conspiracy case because it is huge right now. My name is in those documents. And they're going
Yo.
after Mandy and Liz right now. They were just deposed. Liz was just deposed. I'm not sure Mandy was. And Liz is spunky. She is amazing. Like to read the transcript of this thing. I've not been able to see the whole thing. I've heard like bits of it and seen bits of it. It looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, she calls him a badger. The Mark Moore, it's Mark Tinsley's nemesis. He is such a bad guy, and he's the one who's got my name and stuff because I'm not nice to this man. I call him Mr. Smee from Peter Pan because he looks like him. He looks like him. You know the
That's
guy
my
from Peter
favorite
Pan?
character. That's my
Okay,
favorite
that's
character
what
in
he looks
every
like.
Disney movie.
And he even like grew out some
Wee!
that's exactly who he looks like. And he even did some whiskers, and so it's really, really a match now.
Oh
But
boy.
this guy, he represented Russell Lafitte, and he is, I call him Mark Time Waster Moore because he will drag a case out, but he has been horrible to Mark Tinsley and Tabor Vox,
Hmm.
the attorneys for
You're gonna have to
the
tell me
Beach
about
family.
that, like behind the
It is
scenes.
huge right now, like what's going
Yeah.
on.
You're
And
gonna have to
like,
fill me in because I honestly
okay,
I don't know a whole lot about it, but I'm definitely
it
interested.
is juicy and it is terrifying because this gas station guy, his name is Greg Parker and he's a billionaire. So what happened in this boat crash case? This is what it came from. So he decides, you're not going to sue me. I'm too important, I'm too rich, I'm too powerful. I'm going to fight you, but I'm going to fight you dirty. I'm not going to fight you in court like a decent citizen. So he goes out and he hires a bunch of PIs. He has these people stalking the kids from the boat crash.
Hmm.
There's a camera planted across from the Murdaugh home. Like Paul stayed in this little cabin that was kind of closer to the road. So they installed cameras to like watch him coming and going. They would follow him around, try to get video of him drinking. And these girls are in university. These are young girls. They're traumatized because they were in this boat crash. They lost Mallory, and I'm sure they were like having a terrible time. And they've got these weirdo men following them around their university. There's somebody like buying alcohol for underage people. I mean, it gets very, 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 very weird. So there's this guy who reports exclusively about the Middle East, anything to do that affects Israel. That is the entire career of this man. All he's ever done. He's been on C-SPAN. Like he's well known, but he only does this. Well, somehow he ends up doing this huge report on the Murdaugh family. And it's all very strange. And there's bots going on. There's this guy, Wes Donahue, who calls himself a knife fighter. He's like Dead Wallace, but on steroids. And
I'm
so
almost
all
intimidated to try to get involved in this case because there's like so many moving parts. Like I'm
there are
trying to
so
keep
many
track in my
moving
head.
parts. It's a lot. And I cannot believe that Mark and Tabor and there's another attorney, John Nichols. Poor John, I always leave John out, and he's on the team too. But they figured this out. I don't know how. These guys are so smart, but they tracked it down, and they had it limited. And just this year, in their questions, it was so clever, like how they've got this list of people, and so they're tracking it down, and they get to these PIs, and they're like, put a list of names, and so they have to respond about those names, and so then it comes out, bingo, it is one of those guys in there. And so this all just happened a few months ago. So I have been like waiting for this to completely unravel so I can follow up, because like all this stuff I'd reported on it before, I didn't know like what was going on. But now in the filings is all this information. And so that's how I got drug into it, because I would report on it, and not that many people were still reporting on this case, and I was, but I've only ever reported things that are in public filings. So but it's just because I
So
report
then how
again.
did you get dragged into the case then?
It's just like Blake. They think that if you're talking about it, you obviously are bought and sold by somebody. Somebody's leaking you information, which is absolutely silly. Because if you go through my stuff, everything I do is based on public court filings. I don't have insider information.
Well, I know that.
I just have strong opinions. And I like to deep dive into these filings and really like dig in and look up the case law, and then talk about what I've seen and all of this stuff. And so, yeah, so he just assumed that, oh, I must be getting information somewhere, which is so stupid. Like, listen to what I say in there, and you'll find out I'm talking about things you have filed, and
You know,
your opposing counsel has filed. I don't have insider information on this case,
I don't
but
know. I don't know how old
it's
you are.
an intimidation. It's intimidation.
Well,
Pure and
100% it's
simple.
intimidation.
He wants
But
me to shut up because very few people are talking about it, so he just has a few people to try to silence, and I
well,
happen to be
that's like one of the main playbooks for an attorney that doesn't want you to say stuff. They try to do things to intimidate. Like I got to tell you this. I am an attorney. Lawyers, the people that are in that profession, are some of the most insecure people that you'll ever meet in life. Just anything, everything is like a display for them. Everything is a show. Everything is about ego. Even some judges.
it is like theater. The courthouse is theater. I mean, truly.
Yeah. But the main pushback for any litigator, like an average litigator, like this guy, like the guy you're describing,
Mhm.
is intimidation. Because,
Mhm.
oh, I'm a lawyer. Look, I'm going to subpoena this. I'm going to subpoena that. And you really want to get in this fight? And they'll say things like that. They'll
I
talk
just
like
read
that.
Gilt's comment. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of comments, I need you to help me with this. There's a comment on the screen. So Omar wants an Inuit elder end. Not a bad. What the hell does that mean?
I can't
Inuit
help her.
elder.
I don't know what that means.
I think that refers to like when I said if I have dementia, I just like wander
Is
off,
that
just leave me out there.
Oh, is that
I don't know what Inuit elder is, though.
like the chief of like in Alaska? Am I getting
Oh,
the wrong
maybe.
word?
Yeah. I think you're onto something. Oh my god, I just noticed Cassidy had my Omar comment pinned. Oh yeah, that was me.
That was him.
I
I
had
can't
your
control
comment.
the chat tonight. It's
Yeah,
because
I'm in charge of the
we're on
chat.
his stream, so
Yeah, which
Oh,
one of these
okay.
nights we could go on your stream and then you could control everything. Which I would prefer because it's a lot of work, man. You pay attention to the stream to the chat much more than I do. So I think I don't know.
I saw chicken butt, and that caught my eye. Okay, so, now
Chicken
I've
butt,
wandered so far off course here. So, but this is
chicken
the
butt,
gas
turkey
station
butt.
guy. So, so it's 1.5. Well, long story short, this guy ends up so he does all that dirty stuff to try to avoid it. He ends up having to settle for $15 million.
And
He could have settled like everybody else was coming in low, but he drug it out. And here's what Mark did. Mark was fast. Mark works hard, fast, and smart. So
yeah,
he goes out and he gets, I told you this last week, that he gets um, a guy that recreates the accidents to sort of figure out how it all happened. He also goes to a company that does mock jury stuff. So he and Mallory's family, because, well, you know this because you're an attorney, but just for everyone listening. So they do this video because Mallory has passed. They don't get a chance to know her, to see her as a person. So the family makes this video, and it's basically um a day in the life of, to try to like resurrect her, to show to the jury, this is who we've lost. This is the girl. She's a beautiful, lively 19-year-old girl when she dies. So naturally, it has a profound effect. It's very, very sad. You know, you take jurors, and probably a lot of them are parents or even grandparents, and they see this girl and then they imagine losing their child, what that would feel like. So they come up with this huge settlement offer that they would give. So he's armed to the teeth with everything that he needs to say, look, I'm going to win this. And this is how it is. So after all those dirty tricks, the guy ends up paying like 3 times what he would have had to pay. He ends up 15. And then like I said, these attorneys are too smart. They find out exactly what he's doing. And so they bring this conspiracy case against him. They're like, you did this, because that video that they made, they take that video and they also go get photographs from law enforcement. And it's traceable. Everybody who got a copy of that, there's a list of people. It's not just open to the public. So it comes through his attorneys, and it's her deceased body that was found 8 days after she was lost. And they put it in a documentary, and it's barely blurred, and the trailer for it actually airs. So there's a documentary out there that's, I think it's on Investigation Discovery. It's on that channel. And it was
I haven't
made
watched.
by
You know when I watched that the last time? The last time I watched that was on. I was in Avalon with my wife, and it was like the only thing on. It's like in a hotel. I was like, oh,
uh
it's like, is this TV for like old ladies?
oh
It's
yeah,
like,
hotel TV, it's got like 5 channels, and
is this like the new Lifetime channel? Is this? I was clowning my wife.
yeah, it used to be better when it first came out, but now everybody's doing true crime, so they just get like the
Yeah,
cheap stuff.
they've been left in.
But
Yeah,
but this
it's almost
documentary is where he went really, really wrong. It's how the attorneys were able to trace it back, because it's who produced it and who spoke on it, and all of the moving parts had a part of that documentary, and that's what ended up being the unraveling of the whole thing. So after he was able to prove that these people took these photographs of this deceased girl and aired it, and then all this information that could only have come from, there's stuff that happened in the privacy of a closed meeting of attorneys that's all of a sudden out. And Greg Parker is one of the people speaking, like out on Dateline and all this stuff. So it all gets traced back, and he's got all this information. So there's this conspiracy case that comes of that. And that is still going, even though the boat crash case, that's long settled now. But this conspiracy case is like, it's coming up for trial around the same time as the Lively trial. So it's like in discovery right now. It's like neck and neck with that trial. So all this juicy stuff is coming out right now, and it's huge. But so this is that guy, Greg Parker. And then so there's the bar where they stop and have more drinks. Only Paul and Connor go in and have 2 more drinks. They're already drunk. And that's where they're staggering out from in the video that you see, where they're getting in the boat and driving off. Is this Luther's Rare, and I went there and took a little video, because I did like a video of.
Could we pause for Cassidy?
Yeah.
Could we pause? I have a sty in my mind. Bruce the Moose, who was in the chat, left this comment: "Old ladies and me." I'm struggling to understand what he means by that.
The ID channel. Who watches it?
Oh, he watches You know what? My wife has solved the mystery. That's exactly what it meant. Bruce watches Investigation Discovery. He watches ID. old ladies and Bruce. I get it. All right. Never mind. I was like, what is he talking about? Never mind. I'm done.
Okay, so
Let us continue.
yeah, sorry, this is gonna take forever. I'm talking too much.
It really
So
is. I'm letting you take the lead tonight. It's like,
okay,
hey,
so
if Cassidy if Cassie keeps on rambling, she's the one running the show tonight.
I've just had all this, and I've wanted to talk about this conspiracy case for so long.
No, you're
But
doing great.
so he's giving this, he's saying his insurance is gonna give 500,000, and then I love this character who plays the dad. He's
Yeah.
like, and when you're done playing Tickle Dick, you throw in another million.
When you're done playing Tickle Dick, you throw in another million. Pussy.
Yeah,
I was waiting for him
like,
to say that. He
he's like,
didn't actually say that.
but it's basically what his meaning was.
Basically
He's like,
what he
from your
said.
own pocket on top of that. And he's like, Daddy. It's funny how these people call him Daddy, and they really do in the text messages. I was reading through the timeline from the day of the murders. I have the entire timeline of the whole
They
day,
call
like
him
everything
Daddy, and then they
happened.
call everybody, like everybody's name is Bo. I don't know.
Oh,
Like my
hey,
wife's like,
Bo.
is that just like a South Carolina thing? They call everybody Bo. I was like, I mean, I guess. I don't know. Like, why don't you like ask them? I'm just being a
Yeah,
smart ass
I
wife.
think so, because I have a lot of relatives in the South, and I've lived there for a short time, and it nobody that I knew said that, but it must be like just like South Carolina, not
Maybe. I
not
mean, I
across
don't
the
know.
South. But he's like, Daddy, these other people are getting away with just paying out of insurance. Like, why should I have to pay? And
I
he's
could
like,
never call my dad Daddy. If I ever said, I would feel so like icky to say that to my dad.
yeah, it's weird, huh?
I
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
But
I
they
mean,
did
you know,
in their text messages to each other, because the guy, their dad was dying. He was like 3 days away from dying, and he's in the
Megan
hospital the day of
Fox.
the murders.
Megan, what's up, Megan? It's good to see you.
Hey,
Megan, 6'7", Megan. My daughter just said that to me, and I heard it referenced on South Park. What does 6'7" mean? What the hell is that?
oh, it's a thing the kids say. It started with
Why?
the basketball player, like it's like the height, and then it just became something that you say. It's just kind of nonsense. It doesn't really mean much,
My
but
daughter literally said, "Hey, Dad, 6'7", haha." It's like, what are you talking? What does that mean? I want to know what it means right now.
it's not bad. It's just
Megan says, "I love you, Omar." It
it,
means nothing.
yeah, it
Okay.
doesn't really have like a big meaning. It was the guy said it, and the way he said it, the kids liked it, and now it's just everywhere. Okay,
I
and he's
don't
like,
know.
"We're friends, we're beaux." And I love this line. I don't care if you two carved your initials in a big heart in the old oak tree. A girl died. And so Alex is like, well, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, 1.5 million for me. So he
Oh, my wife just said something about 41. What is 41? What is
okay, that one I
41?
don't.
My wife literally said something about 41, and like it's like, okay. And I was like, but it's now come up in the chat. What does 41 mean? I'm so old, man. I feel just so out of touch. I
Yeah,
do
I
not
don't.
connect to this world anymore. I'm just
Can you pop
I
up
don't
scene two?
even yes. Let's do a scene 2. Is it this one? No, that's is slide 1, or is it
Yeah, this is right. This is right.
okay?
Scene two.
You got it.
Okay. So
Side
so this
hand
is
move.
what you were talking about. So she goes shopping, and she finds out because they haven't visited.
Yeah.
Gloria was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and like you said, she was their housekeeper, and it was like 20 years. She raised their kids, and they hadn't gone. And only Maggie goes, and as far as I know, she only went once in 3 weeks. And she fell on their property.
Yeah.
And so the son works at the grocery store, and so that's where she finds out Gloria's not doing well. And this thing with the baggie, so she pulls, when I saw this, I'm like, this has to mean something, because they're really zooming in on this idea that she's got her money in a baggie in her purse. And she actually did this. I found it out in Blanca's book.
How much does she actually offer?
I don't know. I don't know how, but I mean,
My wife
she
is my
I mean,
wife is
she
I
used a
got to
Ziploc.
interrupt you because my wife is shaking her head at me because Bruce was like, "Hey, when I was a youngster, it was all about 69." And then I said, "I'm with Bruce. It's all about Team 69." And my wife was like, "Yeah, really?" I'm forever
So
12. I can't help it. I'm forever 12.
forever.
Bruce says, I'm not 69ing with you, Omar. That was not the request, Bruce. Nor would that ever be the request.
So this baggy thing really, this is what she really did, according to Blanca. So she had this fancy designer purse, and then she'd have her credit card she'd put in a Ziploc baggie in her pocket. So that's what they're showing here, is like that she really did that. And then she tells Paul, she doesn't know how to break it to Paul, that Gloria's not doing well. So she's like, oh yeah, she's okay. And then this is that kudzu. And this was why I knew it had to be symbolic, because they keep talking about this kudzu, and I'm like, it can't be that important. So what's going on with this? There's got to be a reason. So she's like, well, call Anthony. And he's like, well, I don't think he wants to talk to me. And then you see Alex's face. He's like, stop it. Don't say it. These kids are done with him. Like, shut up.
With his demon face. I'm calling that, like, so Jason Clarke does this thing, man. He does this thing where he could instantly portray evil, deception, whatever you want to call it.
Changes.
Yeah, like because he portrays, he does this thing where he portrays like the good old boy, South Carolina, what's up, Bo, whatever, and the whole lingo and everything. But then in a moment, in a split second, he could put on the demon face and shark eye. Exactly. You
just
called
like
it
Alex.
shark eyes. Yeah, exactly like Alex at trial.
At trial, he would be smiling and eating his little peppermints at the table, and then Creighton would say something that would set him off, or like when Mark Tinsley took the stand, like that's exactly what went across his face. It was.
Yeah.
And this is the point he's telling him, burn it down, do yourself a favor. And Paul's like holding on to it. I can do this, I can fix it.
Now that was your whole symbolism argument earlier in the show. Yeah.
And it only took me like 5 times of watching the episode to finally come up with that.
I did not come up with that theory, but I like it as a theory. I'm not convinced.
No, yeah, and I could be wrong, but I'm like, it's got to symbolize something, because they talk about it too much.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to burn it down, and then all of a sudden, immediately after Gloria's funeral, that's what he does. Okay, here's the Anthony, the scene, the actor you were talking about.
Oh, yes, where he's talking about, hey, I was going to marry that girl. What am I supposed to do with that now? Which, this is what I get. And even watching the documentary, this is what I'll see about this young man. All young men do this. Like they have like a first love or whatever, or somebody that they are morally and ethically at the time tied to.
Mm-hmm.
And most young men have the good fortune to watch that wither away, and it's like, oh, well, gosh, I was kind of dumb at that moment, or sometimes it works out and it like turns into like this 70, 80-year-old relationship. But this kid was like, what, 19, 20 years old or something like that when she died. And he's stuck. It just strikes me that he's stuck in this phase where he's like infatuated with like his first love, like the first person that he declared love for.
Yeah.
And for most people, they don't have their first person that they declare love for pass away.
You stay with for. Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're around long enough for them to let that wear off and like just discover that, hey, there's all these other things that I should have considered or whatever. It fades away in some kind of spectacular fashion. For him, I could only imagine what would happen given his state of mind, that he has declared love for this lady, and he has that youthful love where he's like ethically and irrationally and emotionally
overpowering 19,
for the rest of his life. And it's not even a fear, but it's a reality. He's going to have to somehow reconcile that with every other young lady that he comes in contact with. He's going to compare her to Mallory, and he's going to idealize her and deify her in some respect, to the point that maybe, does this affect his ability to have a relationship with somebody else? And it probably will for a long time, and then he'll grow out of it eventually. But
he did get married, but I wouldn't want to be the girl. I mean, wouldn't you always feel?
How old is he actually in real life?
Well, they were 19, I think. So he must be about 25, 26.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
That
I
would be
recognize
hard
his
to
type.
be the one that is married to someone who had that experience. You
Imagine,
know, I feel
imagine.
like
Yeah,
I would,
explain. Like, how would you feel like knowing that he had like this love of his life that he was ready to marry, and then she passed away, and then
and
you're
then
sort of
becomes
like
like
the next one to come along.
immortalized into, yeah. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
never feel enough. Like, yeah. And
yeah,
he's probably, I mean, that's unfair to him, to say that because he's
very
probably
unfair.
a
Yeah,
really nice guy and really a good husband and everything, but I I'm not I couldn't do that. I
I
couldn't
mean,
do
I'll
that.
say this about him: he probably has a heart of gold. He's very innocent.
He probably
In the
does. He seems
documentary,
to.
what I witnessed from that young man, it was recognizable. He had that he
Even
was
the
just he was
forgiveness
innocent.
and love he had for Paul, like, after all was said and done.
But there's still an underlying um irksomeness, for lack of a better word, with respect to Paul, but there's an empathy there. There's certainly a character there.
Mhm,
Um, there's something he's this sweet, innocent kid that got a bad hand, like the love of his life at the time that she was the love of his life, passes away in this tragic boat accident. And good for him, he's moved on and he's remarried. But like you said, what are the complications for that with his new? Does she really want to be the replacement? They're going to have to work that all out. And I'd
yeah,
imagine that this kid is probably empathetic enough to be able to appease his new wife and
mhm,
ingratiate her into his life, into replacing Mallory and whatever she was to him. Those are all issues, but you're right. It's extreme. That is a lot to throw at a 25-year-old,
mhm.
let
Yeah,
alone a
and he's been married
19-year-old.
for a few years, so, like, he probably needed a good 5 years to just grieve and get over it, but maybe
I
I
mean,
don't
if
know.
you were to talk to Uncle Omar, it would have been like, hey, you might want to
Take
put
your
off
time.
marriage until you're
Take your
like
time.
27, 28. Yeah, my
Yeah.
wife agrees. She's like, yeah, that is a lot to throw on a
Mhm,
young man. And I recognize, being like that. Like every young man goes through that phase where they're like very much like the Disney character. They're very much the prince in Sleeping Beauty, or the
mhm.
prince in Snow White, or the prince in Beauty and the Beast, and protecting the princess and slaying the beast. And he's very much of that mind, and he's got this youthful innocence about him. And what breaks my heart about him, aside from the acting, whatever you want to say about the acting, is that the real life character has had to go through that, and he's navigated it in this really admirable way. And the fact I
Yeah,
didn't even know that he was remarried, and good luck to him with all of that. But the emotional strain that must have taken on him, and the turmoil that must
at
exist
that
that they have to
age.
reconcile. Yeah, good for him, man. Hey,
Yeah,
I wish
his
him the best of luck.
parents seem really solid. They seem, like, really kind, warm, like, open, and to where, like, I remember her saying that the first, I don't know how long it lasted, but, like, when they were still searching for her, like, he couldn't even go sleep in his room. He slept in the living room, and she slept out in the living room with him,
Yeah,
and I mean, just and she said he would wake her up because in his sleep, he would just be sobbing or wake up screaming,
he's a
and
good kid, man.
he was
He's the
underwater.
kind of guy that I don't know. I don't have any sons, but like I would take him to a baseball game or something, and like
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
to
he does
watch the
seem like
Dodger
a really
game or
sweet kid,
something.
but his parents seemed super sweet too, like, they seem like good, solid, warm people. But
Mhm.
this here, I don't know that this ever happened that he went to, like, where Anthony works, like we see in this scene, but Anthony does describe a situation like what happens here. He says, "I lost you too," to Paul. I don't know if he actually said that, but, um, he
I
does.
felt like they probably took creative license there with that comment.
Yeah, but Paul did tell him that he loved him, and then Anthony said he replied, "I love you too, man, but this is it." Like, he couldn't continue to see him and have him in his life, it was too painful, but
Yeah.
they did tell each other that they loved each other because they had been friends, like, all through childhood.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, it was like losing a brother. So he tells him, I lost you too, and Paul's like, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
But he just can't do it, and I mean, you could understand that. You
I
could really,
really felt for Paul in this scene.
yeah.
Because, you know, Paul, I feel like in spite of his surroundings, in spite of his parents and everything that was going on, um, there was something very genuine with this kid. And
People
he
did have a lot
had,
of nice things to say about him when he wasn't drinking.
yeah, I mean, I get he had a drinking problem. I get that he was abusive to his girlfriend. I get that he had a lot of character flaws, but he was a kid.
Mhm.
How old was he when he died? He was like 19 years old or something like
Yeah,
that.
they were all around 1920 when the crash happened, and, I've had people come to my channel when I would report on it and say, "Oh, they were old enough to know better. They weren't kids, and they made their choice and blah, blah, blah,"
Bullshit.
and that
He
is
was a
all
kid.
true. That is all true. However, think of where you were at 19 and the stupid things that you did,
But
and
I tell you where I was at 19. This is where I was at 19. Okay, so people know me right now. I'm the tilted lawyer. I'm a lawyer, whatever. I've had cases. I have a YouTube channel. I have all these things. I have a career, all these, whatever you want to say. When I was 19 years old, I got really drunk one time and I let my friend drive my car because I was too drunk to drive. And we got pulled over. And I did all the talking in my drunken state at 19 years old. And my friend did not have a license.
oh,
And
no.
this is what I said to the officers,
Oh,
like,
no.
officer, listen, I am drunk. My friend is sober. We're just trying to go home. I'm like 5 minutes away. I will take a breathalyzer. I'm
I was gonna
probably
switch my
like
place.
0.2 or something. I mean, I went to one of those, like, high school, college drinking parties that you would go
Mhm.
to. And what I said to the officer made completely no sense. I completely implicated my friend as having no license. Um, I have no idea if he was sober or not, but he was the one driving my car because I was definitely drunk off my ass. And the officer, in his grace and understanding, was like, you know what? Get your ass, both of you, get your asses home. Just go home. Just go. Thank you, officer. I appreciate you so much. You're the best. Woo!
And that's why you became a lawyer, right?
Totally why I became a lawyer. I'm just saying,
You
I
know what?
was
He
not.
probably appreciated your honesty, and the fact that you weren't driving drunk is probably,
I was
worse than
trying to do the right thing, Your Honor. I didn't call him Your Honor. I didn't know anything about Your Honor at that time, but I was trying to do the right thing, officer. I'm drunk.
But that's it. That's 19, because
That's
our
19.
our brains are not, and it's such a shame. It really needs to be the opposite. Like, who do we talk to about this? But, like, the body matures so young, but the brain
Yeah,
doesn't finish until it's, like, 25 or 26 years old,
yeah,
and the
about
last
that.
thing to develop is your logic and reasoning
Yes.
ability. It's so messed up that that's the way it is. It really needs to be the other way around.
Or at
But
least put things on delay. How about not
yeah,
giving people a driver's license until they're 27? What do you think about that?
yeah. Well,
It'll
27,
never
I don't know
happen.
about
That's a bit
27.
extreme.
I don't know, I couldn't wait. I was driving at 16, but, um,
Yeah, me too.
yeah,
Which I heard is not a thing anymore. Is it true that they've risen the driving age to 18?
I don't know.
Have I been tricked? My daughter
That
could not
probably
get a
is.
license.
That's a state law, so it would vary by state, right?
I
Aren't
don't know,
licensed
man.
state?
Although I'm on board, there's no reason why I should have been driving at 16.
Oh,
I did drive
absolutely
when I
not.
was 16. I did all kinds of stupid shit. I once
Yeah.
accidentally drove like I was trying to drive home from LA. My wife got her license at 17. I once was trying to drive home from LA, and I drove from LA and I ended up in San Diego, and then in trying to course correct and ended up back in LA until I finally arrived back home in Chino Hills. And I was driving people trying to get them home. I was driving for like 4 hours or something. It's like, no, everything's fine. I had my Thomas guide. There was no navigation back then. There was no.
Nope, nope. And, Yeah, and I had a stick because I thought, that's so cool. I gotta have a stick, and
Oh,
I
I
was
remember
always
the stick
running late.
shift.
What's that?
I remember driving a stick shift.
Oh, I love it. I did up until just a few years ago. I just always after I got used because that's what I learned how to drive, and then after I got used to it, I couldn't stand waiting for an automatic to shift. I could, like, feel it, and it was, like, felt wrong, and I just
Yeah.
maybe it's my control freak, but, tendencies, but anyway, yeah, so I'd be, like, driving around, stick shift, running late, speeding, putting makeup on in the rearview mirror, and, like, on my way to work. I had so many tickets. Like, the last time the cop was like he's like, "Pull it over," and he was gonna take me in, and thank goodness I had just sent in, like, the payment for it, and I had some kind of proof, I don't remember what, like, in the glove box, and I showed it to him, and I was bawling, of course, and,
Of course.
he didn't take me in, but I straightened up after that. I was like, "I'm not doing that no more."
I'll tell you what, at 19, I was once driving home from Las Vegas and I really wanted to get home. I was going over 100. I was
Oh, wow.
doing over 100 in a Nissan Sentra. It was a little
You can go
1997
that
Nissan Sentra. I was like, I'm so bored. I want to get home so bad. And so I was going over 100 miles an hour in my 97 Nissan Sentra. I was pulled over. This was in, what was it, 1999? 1999 or something like that. I got pulled over. And as the guy, I saw the officer in the rear view. He's like, holy shit, he's tailing me. I try to like exit the freeway. And obviously he pulls on his lights, right? I was like, oh, fucking hell. I didn't know that reckless driving was a thing. I didn't know that if you're
Oh,
driving over 100 miles an hour, they consider
yeah.
that
What is it, like 30
reckless
miles
driving.
over the speed limit, it becomes reckless?
So,
Something like
yeah, and which is the equivalent to a DUI. And I didn't know that at 19 years old. And so the officer's like, you ever been to jail, son? It's like, no, sir, I've never been to jail. He's like, are you Mexican, son?
What?
Yes. Yes, I am. The officer was Mexican. It's like, you were so lucky that I got other shit to do. Slow your ass down. Keep it at 80. I could take you to jail right now. I was like, yes, sir. I apologize profusely. I had no idea that you could take me to jail for going over 100 miles an hour. He let me go. He let me go. I have no explanation for it. Maybe he really did have something to do. But what could he possibly have anything to do in
Out in
like
the
the
desert?
middle of nowhere in the desert and like between
There
California
shouldn't
and
be
Nevada?
to be fair, there shouldn't be speed limits through some of those roads. There's nothing there.
It shouldn't be no 65. To be fair, it's like
No,
70, but still, like 85 should be the speed limit. You know what I mean? At the very
should be
least.
like the Autobahn.
You
You
know,
could
I mean,
drive.
I don't know. I don't know. There's reasons not to go Autobahn speeds. I'm just saying that was the one time that I got like a pass, like a free pass.
Wow.
Fast forward to when I was living in Columbus, Ohio, there was an officer that pulled me over for doing 26 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone.
No.
I was 20 years old at the time. And I told the officer, hey, look, I was only doing 1 mile over the hour. You think I could get a break? And this is what he said to me. He said, the mayor is sick and tired of people speeding through this intersection. It's like, I don't even fucking know the mayor. What the fuck are you talking about? It's like, maybe you're just a fucking asshole.
The mayor?
He said, the mayor. It's like, who is the mayor? Who is the mayor?
Oh, that
I got
sounds
a
like a
ticket. I got like 5 speeding tickets. I got no speeding tickets in California, or I maybe got 1 or 2. It certainly wasn't 5. But in the like 2 years that I was living in Ohio, I got 5 speeding tickets to the point where they were about to suspend my license if I got 1 more. It was
wow.
so bad. And the speeding tickets that I
That's how
got were stupid. It was like 26 and a 25, doing 58 and a 55. I was like, do you guys just have nothing better to do? Like, what are we doing right now? Why are
isn't
you pulling
25
me
only,
over?
like, when the school zone lights are blinking? Like, what
It was
reason?
business hours. I was driving home from work, to be fair, I guess, but I don't know, man. 26 and a 25. It's like, what is
That's
this freaking Mayberry? I was coming from California. In California, they don't give a shit about that kind of stuff. There's a thing that exists that's like the California roll. You don't come to a complete stop. You just roll through it if it's safe to do
yeah,
so.
yeah. And,
I
like,
don't know, man.
I stay, like, 9 miles an hour above the speed limit. I won't go to 10 because that's when I'm afraid that I will get pulled over, And I've never gotten pulled over as long as I keep it to just like 9 over the speed limit.
I have not gotten pulled over for any ticket for like over a decade.
Yeah.
And I speed all the time. I don't understand it. I don't know. I guess I'm just not a dick about it. Maybe that's I feel like in California, they're more lax. When I lived in the Midwest, they were way more sticklers about it. And that was an adjustment for me.
Yeah.
We are so far off track of episode 4. What were we talking about before I got sidetracked?
So
Knock on wood, exactly.
there you go. So this is their moment of I love you, but I'm done, and then that's it.
Hey,
So
babe, I need a refill. You know,
scene
refill
3.
me.
Scene
All
3
right.
now you'll need to put up.
Oh, let me put up scene 3. I told I've requested a refill for my wife. Okay. What are we drinking, by the way? What is this? What? 100%. It means 100%. Right. In Espanol, red wine. Is it what is it? A Merlot or a Cab? It's a red wine. What is it? A blend? It's a blend. I'm drinking a red blend.
Is it from Spain?
I have no fucking idea. For all I know, it could be for 3 different continents, and they blended it together. What is this? Neil Patrick Harris would have been a much better choice to play Alex. I don't know. Neil Patrick Harris,
I love
Doogie
it.
Howser.
I think Jason Clarke did perfect.
Yeah, I cannot imagine a better actor than Jason Clarke.
No. I mean the faces we got from this episode. Can you pop 3 up real quick? Scene 3?
Oh, did I not already do that?
Nope.
Or did I screw it up?
There. Yeah.
Oh. Is this the one?
Yep. Nope.
Okay.
That's 5. I don't know if you should have more
8?
wine. 3,
scene
no,
7,
3.
Scene 6.
3 is lower.
Oh, I see what it. Scene 5, 4. Oh, I see what happened. You took I got it.
Oh yeah, I took the ones away that we've already went through.
I cannot be blamed for that because you didn't tell me that you did that.
Okay,
so.
sorry. I was just doing cleanup because there were so many across the thing.
Yes, 1944 says, no, Omar, you probably start talking, they hear your smooth voice and let you go. I didn't have such a smooth voice back then, I'm sure. I don't know. Although my voice started cracking really early. I've had this voice since like 15. It's been a thing all my life. They were accusing me of being AI before AI was even a thing. And they've accused you of being AI.
Yeah. Because I used to do all my videos pre-recorded. And I mean, there were sometimes I just cried over it because people were so mean.
Why would you cry though? They just love your voice. That just means that you're like.
But they weren't being nice. They were being so mean.
Fuck them. How about that?
And I was so new at it, and just like, I get sensitive. Now I just get mad. I'm just. Like,
I really hope you have a thicker skin now because you've been doing this long enough where you got some street cred. I don't know what street cred means.
I do. I don't put up with it now. When somebody comes to my channel whining, and somebody said something. What did they say the other day? And they're like, this isn't it, and blah. I forgot what it was. And they're like, normally I'm very supportive of your stuff. And I've just repeated back, normally I'm very supportive of your comments, but this isn't it.
You know what? They can kiss my ass. You know what? I had a similar comment about like one of these episode recasts that we did. Is like, I've just wasted 10 minutes of my life. And I was like, suck my dick. Fuck off. And I deleted his comment and moved right on.
Isn't it crazy that they think they can tell you? Yeah, that's when we did this one, someone's like, yeah, we've been waiting for days for you to talk about the Lively case, and then you come on with this video that nobody asked for.
Kiss my ass. How about that? How about that? How about start your own YouTube channel and do this?
I made my channel on Murdaugh, and I said, my Murdaugh people, I said that was my first subscribers, my first members, and I'm sure they're sick of me talking about Blake Lively, but they got more class than to say something like this to me.
No, look, man. I mean, if you're gonna do this and put yourself out there, there's gonna be people to get offended for stupid things. Like I made a reference the other day about something about Trump, just to like make a point that he called Marjorie Taylor Greene the traitor, and someone was like, "Why don't you just leave politics out of it? You're not a political whatever." It's like, why don't you fuck off? How about that? And it's just, I don't know. Like, what do you even want me to say? Like, Is Trump like a forbidden word? I can't mention that without you being triggered to the point where you have to watch something else and comment on it and let me know how much you were disappointed that I made a comment about a political. You know what?
Yeah.
I don't even have the energy. I don't have the time. I don't have the
Yeah.
patience. I just move on. And you know what? My
You
channel
just mute them?
has grown.
Do you mute them?
Well, I delete their comments.
I've
I
done
don't
that.
need to deal with this shit.
Well, you
In
can
the
mute them
past, you
to where
can.
you like
And
you'll never see their comments again. No one will ever. And I've had to tell a few people that got really really nasty. And
yeah,
I would let them know I'm muting you. So have at it. You can just sit here and type
talk to
all day
yourself.
long every day, and I won't see it, and no one here will see it. But have at it. You know.
Yes, 1944 says peach, kiss it. Love it. Kiss my
Yeah.
ass. You know, when I was first starting out, I was like, you know what? I need to be fair to all the commenters. If they got negative, I'm just gonna leave it up, whatever. But
Yeah, I was like that too.
no, man, fuck that. If they got stupid shit to say and it's like way off base, I'm just deleting you. How about that? Because
Yeah,
you're like
and
1% of like the commenters.
if the it's so small. I've got I don't know, this community is so nice. I
Yeah,
very rarely have a problem. It's very, very rare.
yeah,
And but when they're mean to I mean, like, it's one thing to be mean to me, like I can handle it, but if they start fights with another sub, that's when
yeah.
that's like, nope, you're muted. I'm not putting up with you can't attack other people here. You know, you can criticize me, that's fine. I'll give you another chance, but don't start fights with other people here. But all right, let me see.
By the way, folks, my camera's off because like it keeps glitching. I don't know why it does that. I
My
promise I'm
camera's
gonna
off
bring
because I
my
don't
real camera. Well, your camera's off because you've never been like on
Yeah,
camera, so
no,
therefore,
never. And I won't, especially now, like when I got put on this, because it was one thing to be in the lively thing, but this
yeah,
billionaire guy, this like truly scares me. Because this man
yeah,
plays dirty and he's got connections. And one of the PIs he hired, it was used to be counterterrorism in the FBI. Like it's the lengths this guy will go to is terrifying. I'm like, I'm so
I
glad
mean,
I always stayed off. I don't want to be recognized when I'm out and about in my life. I don't want any yeah.
sure,
I just don't I get on here and talk because I got a lot of opinions.
yeah, no,
But
I feel you.
you know, I have no desire to be recognized. I mean, the the job I had before, um, I was recognized and I was on TV and I was in commercials and on brochures and even a billboard. And it was uncomfortable. I was in China, so it wasn't like here. But, like, we'd go grocery shopping and you'd hear people saying, "Oh, that's" and they would know who I was, and I didn't like the feeling of, like, I always had to be and I had to be careful because I represented a company like, my curriculum and stuff that I created, it all went with my name and my face, and so I had to be careful what I did on social media, I had to be careful what I did in public, I represented not just myself, but a brand, and so, like, I
Yeah,
when I got home, I was like, "Oh, I don't have to do that, anymore." So, but, I yeah, I just
it's a lot of pressure. I'll tell you what, like it's weird. I don't get recognized often, but sometimes I do. And when I
mm,
get recognized, it's super weird when like I'll be like my court hearings. It's like, are you a tilted lawyer? Yes, I am. I'm the,
all they need to do is hear your voice, right?
I'm the tilted lawyer. Or like I'll do my remote appearances. When I do my remote appearances in court, I'm in my office, but I do most of my live streams from my office, and so people will recognize a setting. And
Right.
some of the judges know about my channel, and it's super weird.
Yeah.
Not all
The
of them. I'm
judges,
just
they
saying
do?
they
Yeah.
100% do. I know which ones do and which ones don't for sure. I'm just
That's
saying.
funny. Yeah, and then I had a very, terrifying experience, and I moved to China to get away from it, and the person was never identified or caught. So, like, when
Oh
I
boy,
came
did you have a
home
stalker?
I did.
Mm.
It did. And he was never found. And so when I moved back home, I was like, just and I was when I got home, I needed to come home. Like I'd been gone for a long time and living in China and um so yeah, but so coming back to the area was a little scary
Yeah.
and not exactly in the same area, but close enough, to where it was like the last thing I need is to be recognized or seen or anything because that feeling never goes away.
No, it's super weird. And I'm not nearly as famous as you, but but
That feels
like I've done live streams where like, hey, I'm in Mexico with my wife. Hey, I'm in Mexico too. Why don't we come meet up? It's like, no, let's not meet up because I'm like on vacation with my family. And then happened like very early on. And I don't know, it's something to get used to. And I never had an inkling that I would get like I mean, not that my channel is big or anything, but I've never thought that I would ever be recognized outside of what I do on this YouTube channel. But it's just a strange thing in the small space that I've done, which is not nearly as big as what you've done, um,
Oh, I
to get recognized like in foreign countries. Like literally, I'm in Mexico and people are like, "Hey, I'm like 10 miles away. Why don't you
yeah.
come over?" You
A
know?
lot of times I don't say where I am until I've already come back home, and I'm like, "Oh, I was here,"
Yeah,
like,
which is the
I'm
the
going
way to
tomorrow.
do it.
You'll find out where I'm going tomorrow after I come back or when I'm about to come back.
You know what well, my first mistake was like I once had like there's like, hey, I'm having a Christmas party at my house, and if you're in the area, why don't you come and join? And people like, hey, I'm in the area. Could we come over? It's like, can we just get your address? It's like, apologies. My wife said no because we have
You've
kids.
got you've got
And she
kids and a
doesn't,
wife and no, yeah, that's
yeah,
scary.
I didn't think
You
anybody was
never
going to take
know.
me up on the offer.
Yeah, you never know.
You really don't. You just got to
Yeah.
be careful, you know? We should get back into this episode.
Do
Where
we
did we leave
yeah, we
off?
do, we do. So this is Mark's office, and this is what I was talking about. So he talks about this mock jury, and so they come up with
Yes.
the settlement, okay? And that's when they find out, oh, this jury's like you can get an incredible amount of money here. So
Have you
he
ever done,
informed
by the way, have you ever been a part of a mock jury or
no,
done a
but I
mock
would love
jury
to.
or done? Yeah. So it's this, I've done mock juries before, like where I basically hire people, have them come in and listen to me present the case. Like we literally go through the facts, a cross exam, direct exam of all the people, and we have them render a verdict. They're extremely valuable if you're going to
Mhm,
go to trial
mhm,
and you're after millions of dollars. And they'll let you know they're supposed to be objective. They know nothing about the case, and they let you they let you know what objective jurors are going to think about the facts
mhm.
as presented. So when he says, "I have it," look, my mock jury disagrees. He said that, which is
Yep,
to say that we've already presented our facts to a mock jury, and
yep.
they've already found against you. We know what's
And
going
I
to
think
happen
he
at
did
trial.
multiple. I think he did more than one. It wasn't just
I'm
one.
sure he did, which would make a lot of sense if you're going after that kind of money. And so when he says that our mock jury disagrees and we're going to get a lot of money, that's
Mhm.
not a lightweight threat. That's pretty much as strong of a threat that you get.
Yep.
And then you heard like I guess I forget who was the guy next to Alex that said that. Well, did they have all the facts? Who was that guy?
Um,
I forget his name.
that's coming up, right?
Yeah. Well,
So
did he have all that is
let
such a
me just
position
flick
of
through
weakness when you're
this.
saying that stuff.
And so this is yeah, well, I'll have to look at it and see who it was. Did they have yeah, I don't remember who it was, so we'll keep that in mind when we get to that one. Go
Yeah.
ahead and finish what you were saying. I'm gonna flick through these real quick and see what
The point is like mock jurors are a real thing and they are invaluable to trial attorneys because we have to present our case. Look, I have an idea of what my case is going to look like. I just did a trial the other day and I had an idea of what the evidence was going to look like in front of a judge. And it was a bench trial. The other side had an idea of what his evidence was going to look like in front of this particular judge. And then the jury comes out, not the jury, the facts come out in front of the judge, and he starts making determinations based on the evidence. And the reality of it is that he sees it a certain way. And if you haven't done a mock trial before, doing the full final thing, the bench trial in front of the judge or in front of a jury or whatever you're going to go in front of, you have no idea how anybody's going to react.
Right.
But the value of a mock jury is that you have an idea of what people are going to tend to do. And the more, if it's not a bench trial, if it's a jury trial, and in most cases, civil juries do not have to be unanimous.
Right.
If you're consistently getting in your mock trials favorable results, then the odds are, statistically speaking, that you're going to get a favorable result at trial. So if you can present that to the other side during negotiations,
really good settlement.
You're going to get a really good settlement figure, 100%. And so when he said that, that's not him talking out of his ass. That's him saying, we got you dead to rights, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's going to be 10 million in addition to the 7 million that you had previously contemplated. We're going after the full kabul, whatever, kibosh. What's the word I'm looking for? Let's just call it kibosh.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll let you continue. That's my rants about mock juries.
No, that was good because you've got the experience to explain the importance of that.
Yeah.
So this is the dad is like, but these are the Murdaughs. We've heard the stories, and the mom is like, nope. The way Maggie walked around and owned the crime scene, the way they rolled out the red carpet for Paul at his hearing, she's like, nope, they're going to pay for this. And she's like, that what more can they do to us than what they've already done? Like, what worse thing can you do to a person than what's happened to them? So and then Mandy and Liz find out that Paul had already been charged with possession of alcohol and driving drunk and all of this when he was a minor, and that Corey Fleming, the good old co-conspirator of Alex's, he represented him, and then he got put in a program. All of the charges were expunged. And so they've been trying to sell this Murdaugh story. So this is like in her book, she goes through all of this, like what she went through, being marginalized, not being listened to, being told, oh, the story's nothing, and being treated, because women in the workplace, even in the year of our Lord 2025, it still happens.
I love that you say the year of our Lord. I do that all the time, and nobody else does it. I'm so pleased that you just did that.
But we get like, oh, silly girls, let's leave it to the men. And so that's kind of what was happening to them when they worked. This is when they worked for the Island Packet. And he's like, oh, this is not a story, but it really was a great story. And so this is her just like really starting to dig in and find out what this family is all about. And then here's them getting the call from Dick when they're at home, and he finds out they're going to run this story.
By the way, what is okay? I know that Dick was a popular nickname, but like back in the 40s and 50s.
Why do people still go by that?
Why would you want to be named Dick? I don't understand. In 2025. But if your name is Richard, like
where
the name is
come from? It's not Dickard. It's Richard. You're Rich or Rick or Ricky. Like, where did that even come?
Well, the meme on the t-shirt is "Don't be a Richard, don't be a Dick." Why? How does Richard equate to Dick? I've never understood. I don't get it.
I don't know.
I know all about Richard Nixon. I know about Dick Nixon. I still don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the equation. I do not get the congruence.
Oh, that here, one trick is helping you out. Caboodle and the whole shebang. That's the words. I think that's the words you were looking for. The whole shebang.
I don't know what any of that means. I know what they're supposed to mean, but what the fuck is a shebang? What is a caboodle? What is a caboodle?
What did you say? A kibosh?
What is a kibosh? I said a kibosh, a caboodle. Oh, is that what they're trying? I get it. You know what? You're right. Caboodle is a way better word to use than kabang or whatever, shebang, whatever I said.
I love made up words though, so you're not going to get an argument from me.
I'm not. I just, you know what? Whatever it was is what it's going to be. Let us present this argument in the year of our Lord 2025. By the way, Um,
Can you pop up
I'm
scene 4 while
I
you're
will.
talking? While you're
Yeah.
talking.
Scene. Well, I love how you titled these scenes because it. There we go.
There we go.
I am such a. I don't know if you're familiar with that show. Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon Christmas Vacation with the Kowalskis.
I think I saw it when I was a kid.
Well, the character in that movie, he's like super into Christmas, right? Like super into it. Like when it comes to Christmas decorations, like he has like a million lights on his house, and he goes and gets the biggest Christmas tree and the biggest Christmas decorations. And that's 100% every single year at Christmas. That's exactly what I do. Like we went to cut down our Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, you told me you guys were gonna do that.
Yeah, the same exact way that they did in his show. Not Kowalskis, the Griswolds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Griswolds. And I bought a Christmas tree that was too big for our house, and I had to chop it down, get it down to size, and we decorated it. But we couldn't stop at the one Christmas tree. I told my wife, "Look, we're going to have a Christmas tree forest. Guess how many Christmas trees we have in my house?
Oh no, how many?
Take a guess. Like
3?
what would be an acceptable? No, more than 3.
5?
More than 5.
10?
We have 8 Christmas trees in the house. There is 5 7 foot or above. There is 3 that are about 3 feet long. I wanted to create a Christmas tree forest.
Are they all together? Like grouped together?
No, they're spread out throughout the house. Like one of them is in front of like the front house window. And then like there's like a hallway, like walking as you're walking into the house. They don't give a shit about the Christmas trees, honestly. But I was trying to make a big deal. Like we get the Christmas tree, we decorate the Christmas tree. We're listening to Christmas songs. I got a whole Christmas playlist that we play. We're going to listen to Christmas music, and we're going to drink eggnog. We didn't drink eggnog this year, but we're going to have a Christmas party. I'm going to make the eggnog, and I'm going to put the alcohol in it, and it's going to be, they're going to have a version for the kids, version for the adults. I get really into Christmas, as you can see. Well, you can't see, but there's one of the Christmas trees is right next to me. It's right there. It's on camera, sort of.
Oh, I can see.
Yeah. Those normally go like right in front of the fireplace. But I don't know, man.
When your kids will appreciate it when they're all grown up. When they're all grown up and they're remembering it, that's when they're going to appreciate it. You don't appreciate stuff when you're a kid.
We're taking them to this Polar Express thing. You know the movie The Polar Express with Tom Hanks, the guy? It's like this train. There's like this train thing that goes in California, and they take a train. It's like this Christmas theme, whatever. We're taking them to that. And I'm observing exactly what you said. They don't really give a shit about it because it's like, this is just like what their life is. But when they get older, it's going to matter to them in some kind of a way. But the moment's going to have passed. It's going to be gone. And they're going to be chasing those moments that they experienced as a kid. And that's going to be what spurns their Christmas motivation for their families and things.
And then their kids won't appreciate it.
Yeah. Like my wife has no idea why I love Christmas so much. Like the one thing that I held on to in my youth was like the Christmas tree and Christmas holidays and the whole thing. And so I try to give it to my kids. Anyway, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. I'm finished with that Christmas rant. How about that? Let us continue with the episode. Okay. We're talking about episode 4 of the Murdaugh
I've got
series.
So many screenshots this time too. So I'm flicking through. So I'm just gonna paraphrase this one. So this is where he comes to them and he's like, I want $10 million. This is what the mock jury says. But
on top of the 7.
He's like, you want Alec to pay y'all $10 million? And he goes, I love this. And he talks like Mark when Mark's making a point. He goes, I want Mallory Beach to be alive and well, enjoying this beautiful summer day.
Could I interpret that as an attorney?
Yeah.
If I was the attorney on the other side and he were to say that to me, I'd be like, fuck you. You don't give a shit about Mallory Beach. You're in this for the contingency. So $10 million, you're going to get what, 3.3 million? So don't pretend to me like you give a fuck about Mallory Beach. Is
I don't
exactly what I
know.
would say.
He's
That
taken
is
it
what I would
easy.
say to Tinsley. I would say that to him, and he might be well intentioned. He probably is well intentioned.
I think he
Good for
is.
him.
He's well, in Valerie Bauerlein's book, she's a journalist from Wall Street Journal, and she wrote a book called Devil at His Elbow. And I've actually talked with her, and she interviewed him extensively for the book. And like a good section of the book is all about him. Like it's got like he goes hunting to like all over the world. He injured his back really bad one time, like on the side of a mountain. And but she like really got to know him, and like you kind of get to know him by reading her writings about it and stuff. But he's a very he's emotional. Like he feels things. So and the
Tinsley?
what he has gone, yes, what he
Yeah.
has gone through for this family is not for the faint of heart. Like
Well, I
there are
100% believe that.
attorneys who you can tell, like Alex's attorneys, they are in it for the money, and that is pure and simple, and they couldn't care less about anything else. They're cold, they're hard, their heart is dead. But
Yeah.
he's not like that.
I'll tell you what. I will categorize the different attorneys that exist out there. Now, there are attorneys like Mark Tinsley, and maybe he does have like an emotional tie-in. Maybe he really is taking on this case because he has the victim's interest at top of mind and in his heart. Maybe he does. But like you said, there are other attorneys out there, like the ones that represented Alex, Dick
Mhm,
Hartpoolian, specifically who I'm talking about, that you
mhm,
feel like if you speak with them, if you engage with them in conversation, if you engage with them in legal debate, you are engaging in a fight with the devil. And it
yes.
feels like that. And I literally just had a trial. What's today? Is today Wednesday?
Um,
Today's Wednesday. I was in trial yesterday with an attorney just like that.
mm,
And it was a domestic violence case. And my client, I mean, she got the living shit beat out of her at the hands of this guy. And on
mm,
cross examination, and credit to my client who did a fantastic job under the pressure of cross examination, but like he would like laugh at her responses. He would, I mean, he was like literally like the devil. Just basically whatever she would say was bullshit. Everything that his client said was gold. And,
wow,
everything was her fault and nothing was his client's fault. It was like that kind of thing. And we had spent the entire day going through exhibit after exhibit of her physical injuries. I mean, I'm not talking
oh,
about like bullshit. I'm talking about like the things that she showed that when she went to the doctors, this is what should they photographed.
oh
She was
wow.
strangled, like there was red marks on her neck, strangulation marks, split lip, like a smashed in finger because he smashed the door in on her finger and rather than opening the door, left it there and said, fuck you. And,
Oh,
taunted her and like held it there and that kind of a thing. Um, meth pipes, he was making battery acid in the house, all kinds of a thing. But the lawyer that was representing him was trying to make my client out to be the bad guy.
wow.
And,
You couldn't
he
be
was doing
jaded
it in
enough
such a
to do
way.
that.
Well, I'll tell you what, like, I would not have cross examined my client the way that he did. But the way that he cross examined my client was just so unpalatable. It was almost, it was borderline
Heartless.
demonic.
Yeah.
It was demonic.
To
And
laugh at someone who's been through that.
there are attorneys out there that do not have an empathetic molecule in their body. They're
Or
straight up
morals.
sociopaths or morals or moral compass or
Mhm.
whatever you want to call it, a sense of ethics, maybe, a sense of, real life experience. And he was an older gentleman, if you talk to him, he's like a friendly guy. Like he was talking to me and my client. We're talking about rescheduling the dates. He was a friendly guy, and he gets her on cross exam, and like he just goes full on demonic, like trying to make her out to be the devil, because his client like put her in positions where her physical well-being was compromised, like to the point where she was gonna die if she stayed with that guy.
Wow.
And he was all I'm saying is there are attorneys out there
Oh, I agree.
like Mark Tinsley, who may have like his motivations are rooted in his client's interest, and there are attorneys out there whose motivations are rooted in money.
Yep.
It's really not that hard to tell the
Yeah.
difference.
It's not. And I think I'm a pretty good judge of character, especially when I see you in person. I've never seen him Mark Tinsley in person. The hearings that I've been to, he wasn't at. I've seen the others, like Eric Bland. He represented the Satterfield family. And then Justin, I almost said Justin Baldoni, but that's totally wrong. Now I
That is
can't
not
think of
the right one.
the other Justin's name. He represents a couple of the clients too. And I like them as attorneys, and they've done wonderful things. But when I see them operate and when I hear them speak, it's money. Money is the motivation. And that doesn't mean they're bad people. I think they honestly have their client's best interest at heart. But it's not an emotional thing. It doesn't mean they're bad people. I still admire them and I love what they do. But let me tell you this in the book. So here's what happened. You've seen Mark's the one pushing, right? He's pushing him about this money. And this is a big part of the story. And so when the trial ended, when Alex was sentenced, when he was found guilty and he's sentenced, in the book, it describes the scene that happened. And then I have spoken to Mark's wife. I helped her with some research, and I had her on my channel to talk about her podcast. And she told me as well. But after the trial, like it was so emotional for him. Like he just found himself like headed straight to Judge Newman's chambers, and she went with them.
Mm-hmm.
She was there too. And he just burst into tears. And the judge asked, and I love the judge. Oh my goodness, I love that judge. I got to rise for him in court, like one of his last hearings
Judge Newman?
before
I
he
gotta tell you,
retired.
Judge Newman, gosh, man,
Was the
that guy, yeah.
best judge I've ever seen.
I would
And I
be
think
so
that's why
nervous to
Mark
appear
was
in front of
drawn
him
to.
in court.
What's that?
I would be so nervous to appear in front of Judge Newman in court because I would not want to disappoint him.
Yeah. He and Dick Harpootlian was so disrespectful to him. I could have slapped that pug-faced
Fuck
man.
that guy.
But
I
I've
got
seen
such
him
a
in
low
person,
opinion
and
of
he's barely
Harpootlian.
taller than me. He's just a smug little man that looks like
How
a
tall are
frog.
you?
5'4". I was
So
in
he's like,
heels, but we were almost eye to eye. Yeah, he's not a big
so
guy,
like
but
maybe 5'7".
well, does he walk in like he owns the place? The guy's just can't stand
You
that
know what
man.
he looks like? Have you ever watched that movie
Frog?
Spaceballs? I was gonna say a frog. Have you ever watched that movie Spaceballs?
I
A Mel
haven't,
Brooks from.
but
Okay,
you've talked about it before.
I have talked about it. Have you watched the movie Star Wars?
I've been in
No,
the
you
room when
cannot
my
tell me you
brothers
haven't.
watched it. I've been in
Oh
the room
my
when my
God.
brothers watched it. I have very selective viewing stuff. I watch a lot of
Are
British
you
stuff. I
aware?
watch a lot of documentaries.
British stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have a good British a compliment to Jabba the Hutt. Are you aware of who Jabba the
Oh, I
Hutt
know who
is?
Jabba the Hutt is. Yes, yes.
Okay. Dick Harpootlian reminds me of Jabba the Hutt. In the
He's
movie
he does have that
Spaceballs,
face.
he is Pizza the Hutt. I cannot explain that to you. You have to watch the movie Spaceballs, and then you'll understand. That is all. But he reminds me of that character. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, he's so gross and so full of himself. I could hardly stand being in the same room as him.
Yeah.
But so Mark and his wife go, and his wife is beautiful. Oh my goodness, Mark's wife is gorgeous. She looks like a model. She's absolutely gorgeous. But so they go in the room, and because Judge Newman, like you feel it too, like he's just that kind of person. So Mark gets in there and he just cries. And Judge Newman asked him, "Why are you crying?" And he said because he feels like it's his fault. So that's what he carries with him, that because he was pressuring Alex about his finances, that he's responsible for why Alex killed Maggie and Paul. So to
Yeah.
me, that says a lot about a person, like, to carry that weight. And it's not his fault. Alex was a psychopath. A lot of people go through a lot of things. That doesn't mean you kill your wife and your youngest child, but you would feel that way. You would feel that way, even though it's not true. Like, your brain, there would always be a part of you that would be like, maybe if I hadn't pushed so hard, he wouldn't have done this. But to me, that says so much about him as a person.
Probably. I mean, I'll tell you what. I've come across a lot of different attorneys, and having gone through the process of going through law school and passing the bar, I see what attorneys are like when they're like attorneys in utero. Like, they're
Mhm.
not quite attorneys, but they're in law school, and all of them have like a similar. Why do you want to be an attorney? I want to change the world. I want to save the world. I want to correct injustices. Whatever. That's the way that we get started.
And then it dies.
And then you get involved in practice, and you realize you ain't changing shit. You ain't going to change nothing. What do you think you're going to change? Like, this profession has been around for hundreds of years, millennia, for all that matter. What do you think you're going to change, bitch?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this case has wow, really, really changed my view of the law and how it's
Yeah.
interpreted. And it's, to me, the way I see it now is like, it's just another avenue for the powerful and the wealthy to screw over the less powerful and less wealthy people. It's
I'll
just
tell
a
you
whole
what,
different
it
way
is,
to do it.
it is
It
not that
does not
difficult.
help. You always think, "Oh, yeah, this is where I'll go and get justice, and this is where I'll be
Yeah.
treated fairly." No, you won't. It's just another place. And the way I feel like law enforcement and, like, lower level who's trying to fight crime and trying to
Yeah.
make the world a better place, they come up with bills, they get passed to law, and then the laws go to court, and the attorneys and the judges do everything they can to break the law down and make it. It's like, okay, this is illegal. You can't do this. Every law is made to, like, stop people from harming each other, because humans, for some reason, cannot stop hurting each other. So we
Yeah.
have to have this ridiculously long code of laws to try to make people stop hurting each other. And then those laws get passed after years and years and years. They finally make it. They finally get out there. And then the defense attorneys and the judges are all out there going, well, maybe this isn't really so bad. Well, is that really what this law means? And they do everything they can to break it down and dissolve it to where it's meaningless. That's what I see now about the whole concept of court and everything. I'm just completely disillusioned.
Having been in this profession for 11 years now, um, attorneys in their first or second year are in it for justice.
Mhm.
Attorneys in years 3 through 7 are in it just to survive. From years 8 and upwards, I guess, you're in it to make money.
Yeah.
And that's just
Doctors are
the
like that
reality
too.
of it.
I like to
Yeah.
find new doctors, and then when they stop caring about their patients, then it's time to find a new one.
Yeah. It's just like, look, lawyers like, look, you want, what do you want me to say? I'll say it, but you're going to lose, but whatever, or maybe you'll win or whatever. It's just like they get so disenchanted with the whole process. Like, every attorney that's like probably 8 years and up, like, knows the outcome of whatever the case is going to be, and they'll take your money,
Yeah, that's
and
what
they'll
Blake
like,
is doing.
yeah, exactly. They'll fight the good fight. They'll do with it. 100%. Blake has a team of associates that are like in their 5th to 8 years that are like, hey, their task is find an angle for this argument that is kind of bullshit, but at least is going to make sense to this judge. That's all they're doing. That's all they're
Mhm.
spending their time on. And it's relevant enough or academic enough where it's going to work. But is it going to really change anything? No. But that's the resource, that's the level of energy that so much of this work as attorneys it gets poured into, like, just this meaningless
Mhm.
legal conversation that has nothing to do with the resolution of the case, but has everything to do with like the presentation of evidence and the
Mhm.
admissibility of evidence going into trial. And you're never going to hear about that. People
No.
don't hear, they don't become lawyers because of some technical argument on discovery. They become lawyers because they watch Matthew McConaughey make the big argument in closing arguments in his big case in Lincoln Lawyer or whatever the movie was.
Yeah, or A
He's like,
Time to Kill.
or A
Okay,
Time to Kill,
now you're
exactly.
speaking my language about what I
Now
watched.
imagine that lady, now imagine that girl was white. And
Yep.
now all of a sudden they're inspired. They want to become
Yeah.
lawyers. They want to do the whole thing. That is not what being a lawyer is like. In practice, it is so much not about that. It is so much more about money and logistics and bullshit and politics to the point where if you're a guy like me, 11 years in, you know, you become disenchanted with the whole process.
I bet.
You recognize it for what it is. It's academic in the points where it needs to be academic, where it's academic enough to make money. And if it ain't making money, then it ain't getting much leeway. There certainly is no consideration for justice. That's what I know about the legal system. That's what's happening with Blake Lively's case. And that coincidentally is why this Alex Murdaugh case is being taken to the level that it is currently on appeal. And we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
on
his
another
appeal's
day.
coming up in February.
Yes. By the way, do you watch Philomena Kunk? I don't even know what that is.
I don't know Philomena Kunk. What is that?
I have
Is
no
that a
idea, but
series?
it was a funny. I don't know.
I saw a movie called Philomena with Judi Dench that I just absolutely loved. It was a true story.
Yes, 1944 is asking you about it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of Philomena Kunk.
Well, then we should move on. How about that?
Okay, so this is where he tells them that he wants 10 million because of the mock jury. This is the scene you were talking about earlier. And he's
This
like,
is my
well, yes.
favorite scene of the whole series, by the way. And it's even better than the like when he's like telling his wife, "Hey, I'm gonna give you a good one for. You want the best 15 seconds of your life?"
Is it better than the dance? Is it better than the dance scene? Because that
No, it's way better than the dance. It's like, "Hey, brace yourself. I'm coming in, Betty."
we still got it.
Wait till you get a load of this. Other than that scene, this is my favorite scene of the whole series. This whole settlement scene.
It is so good. And he's like, well, you seem to be living high enough on the hog because Alex is telling him, you know, yeah, money's tight right now. And he's like, yeah, right. You know, everybody knows you're a big man in town.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, the mock jury, he's like, these stories are breaking about Paul's old drinking tickets. And here's what you were talking about. It's Billy. It's the guy who doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By the way, Billy is so funny because Billy's like, whereas when I want to like emasculate somebody, I call them Billy. It's like, listen, Billy, don't you talk to me like that. I will slap you. I never talk like that to anybody. I've stopped. Never mind. I don't talk like that to anybody. But when I want to emasculate somebody, I will call them Billy for no reason. Why? I don't know. There's nothing wrong with the Billy name.
No.
Like a Billy Goat, I guess. I don't know, but it's just a funny name to call somebody when you're like talking shit about them. I don't know. I will move on. I will let you take. I will let you take the reins on this one.
I've said Billy Bob.
Billy.
All right.
Well, you can't derogatorize the name Billy Bob. He's a legend.
Yeah.
One of my favorite. He's probably one of my top 5 actors. I love Billy Bob.
I do too. I love the way he talks. Okay, so he's like, you're lucky you're not looking at a prison sentence. And look at Jason Clarke's face right here. He is like
the demon face.
Yeah, it's this time it comes on slowly. Like you see it like slowly transform. And I love like the music they play in the background and how they kind of muffle things.
100%. Yeah. So the way they did this in the episode is it's like a 60-second progression.
Look at that.
Like they're talking about friendly, you know, and then you can feel like the lava flowing beneath this guy's guts and it's manifesting itself inside of his face. And he's looking at this guy and they think that they're having a friendly discussion. But Alex Murdaugh has other ideas and it's tipped off by this demonic face that he
Yeah, I
manifests.
was just gonna say the demon has entered his body at this point.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
that. So we
I
had
mean,
this in episode 1, and now we've got another
I'm not
one
sure if I can make could you make that face? Could you make a face that spells
that
evil
spells this out. I don't think I
the
could.
way that Jason Clark did? You'd have to
I'm gonna
get yourself in a state of mind, you know?
have to practice it now.
No, do it to your husband. Say, hey, look at me, bitch. Don't say bitch. Look at me. And then make that face.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna scare him to death. He's gonna be like,
Just
"What
see
did
what
I
he
do?"
does. And then when they ask you, what are you doing? I'm showing you my demon face.
All right, when I get a divorce notice, I'm gonna let's see. Okay, she says it's a show on the BBC. She talks about politics, history, ancient civilizations. She does not take anything seriously. I will love it. That is my kind of show. I don't know that I'll ever watch Spaceballs, but I will totally watch Philomena. What is it, Kunk? Philomena Kunk?
If you don't watch Spaceballs, I will be offended. We're going to have done like 8 streams on this, Murdaugh. You have to watch Spaceballs at least once. It's like an hour and a half. Make your husband watch it with you. I promise.
Okay.
I promise you will not be disappointed.
Yeah,
It's a
there's
Mel
a lot.
Brooks film. It's
Okay, I'll
funny.
try.
Okay.
All right, I will try.
I've made my wife watch it at least 3 times.
Yeah.
She hates it every time. But you have to I mean, it was made in 1987. You gotta just appreciate the context of the time frame. But please watch.
Okay.
You will understand everything so much better if you just watch that movie. Just
Okay,
watch it.
I will try. So I have to warn you, like if something does not completely engage me, I'm like the worst person to watch a movie with because like 15 minutes in, I've been sitting there too long, and so I pull up my phone or I start reading or I start doing yeah, I have to be like super engaged to like
Could I just
start
let me
to
just
finish
sell it for
watching.
you? It has John Candy in it. It has Daphne Zuniga from Melrose Place on it, who was like a crush of mine in my formative years. It has the guy from who gave the speech in Independence Day. What's his name? He played Murdaugh in that one Lifetime series that
Pullman?
I told. Bill Pullman. Yeah, he's in it. He's in it as the main character.
Oh,
There's
wow.
It's directed by Mel Brooks.
You know what? I like him in the Sandra Bullock movie, While You Were Sleeping.
Oh my! I've never watched that movie. I will never watch that movie.
Okay,
But
if I have to watch Spaceballs, you have to watch While You Were Sleeping.
okay, I'll watch. I will watch While You Were Sleeping if you watch Spaceballs. I'll watch it with my
Okay.
wife.
Okay, that's a deal.
I'll make her watch it. I'll make her watch it tonight.
Okay,
I guess I'll make myself watch it. She probably would like it. I don't know. She probably, for all I know, she's already seen it. She says, I've definitely watched that movie. Oh, great. So I know what I'm in for.
I love Sandra Bullock. She's one of my favorites.
Oh, I remember her from Speed in 1994. I remember her from so many different things.
Okay, I think I've talked to you enough that there is a character in there that you will like. He is the landlord's son. And this line goes through my mind from the first time I saw the movie. All right, so this one highlight you might like. He goes, "Are you wearing a black bra? I love black underwears."
She's got a great ass. It's my Al Pacino.
So that's probably the one line of the whole movie you'll like, and the rest of it probably not.
I think you're starting to figure me out. You might then. I'm gonna be looking for that line. Are you wearing a black bra?
I love black underwears. It's not underwear, it's underwears.
Oh, I gotta move. You know what?
Bra?
I wish I could pull off a New York accent. That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, my wife would hate it, but I would have a lot of fun.
I did that once being stupid. I went into a Speedway. I don't know if you have those in California, but they're gas stations. Yeah, so I go and I just like being stupid. I'm just like, "Oh, I need a coffee." And the lady kind of laughed and the cashier, and then all of a sudden I felt really stupid, so I had to keep talking like that.
So where are you from?
Then she
I'm
looked
from
like really nervous, like, "Oh no, I laughed at you, and that's like how you really talk." It's so
I'm from
funny.
Germany. Don't be
And
don't be racist.
I was like, I could never go back in there again.
Hold on, I gotta yell at my dogs.
Oh goodness.
My
All
dog
right,
just
so yeah,
started barking, and my daughter coming home. You could probably I don't
oh,
know if you
okay.
can still hear them in the background, but they're barking
Yeah,
at
I
my
could hear
daughter
it.
walking in the house.
Aw, what kind do you have?
I got 3. Well, I have 2 dogs, and I'm watching one for my brother, and I'm about to buy my daughter a puppy for Christmas, so we're gonna have 4 dogs.
Oh wow. I love dogs.
We're not a
I don't
cat house, we're a dog house.
yeah, I don't like cats, but I love dogs. And
Marissa Tomei,
but
exactly. Marissa Tomei, circa that movie that she did with
I like her.
what's that guy's name from Home Alone?
Macaulay Culkin?
Not Macaulay Culkin. What was that movie? Yeah, My Cousin Vinny. Who's the guy? Who's the guy?
Oh, I know.
He was in Home Alone, My Cousin Vinny, all the movies with De Niro.
Oh, why can't I think of it?
He wasn't in Twins. That's the other guy, the other short guy. Not Danny DeVito. Definitely not Danny DeVito. He was in all the Scorsese movies. What the hell what is his name? I can't even think of it.
I can't think either.
Pesci. Joe Pesci.
There you go. Joe
That's
Pesci.
who it is.
Yes.
That's the guy. Anyway, let us continue with these things. Okay. I feel like we're so behind.
Okay.
We're like an hour 15 minutes in. We haven't gotten anywhere. I feel like
Look
Jesus.
at this. We're gonna have to divide this one. Look how many I went crazy with this with the screenshots this time. Okay, so this is them
April
after
Love is here. What's up, April? Sorry, I haven't seen her in a while in the streams.
So this is
Joe Pesci was a guy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. So this is after he met, and it's like, oh no, 10 million. And so this is them at the law firm. And so they're saying, yeah, he wants to mount our heads on the wall. And this is a good line too. He's like, that old boy sat right there, daddy. Took his sock out of his jock and said 10 million.
Took his sock out of a jock. Oh man, that's hilarious.
And
Listen,
then Randy,
guy.
who seems to be like kind of a decent guy.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's a murderer. He must have taken after the mom. But he says, well, it's exactly what any one of us would do if we were him. And then they find out that this is another really smart thing he did. He subpoenaed all of the DNR case files from the crash because they had friends in the DNR. They had friends in all of law enforcement. They had friends in the courthouse. So he knew he had to get the evidence, and some of it disappeared. And there were some things they never collected and some things they did collect, but they disappeared. It was really like obviously some tampering going on there.
Well,
and so the dad's like, well, he came to play. And then here's how it goes, like straight to the privilege. Do we know anybody at the packet, daddy? So they're like, we're going to shut this girl up. We're going to go above her head. And he's like, oh, not in 20 years. And he's like, but it's too late. The fire's lit. If we push back now, we'll be like putting it out with kerosene. And I think you just like get another glimpse at the way this law firm operated and everybody's personalities. And then there's Alex being a baby. Oh, he ain't getting nothing,
The way that this
like smart. He's like, oh yes, he will. And it's going to hurt.
Yeah. The way this whole scene played out, like I've been in so many different civil litigation negotiations like that. They go exactly like this. But most of the time, when there's a settlement to be had, most attorneys, they don't want to go to trial. Trial is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're on a contingency, you'd rather just get a settlement figure, because the way that you make money as an attorney is to stay on trial. Like that's the secret. If you're a civil litigator, the way that you're going to make the most money is to stay out of trial. Unless like your whole business model is geared towards like getting jury verdicts that are going to millions of dollars in cash. And so they're going to sustain you for like the whole year or whatever. But most attorneys that get involved in civil litigation are in it because they want to settle the case. And so they're talking about the reasons to settle the case. And Alex Murdaugh trying to keep this thing alive is just so. I've just been I've been involved in so many civil litigation negotiations where there's always like, look, it makes all the sense in the world. You go to trial, you're going to get this much. You may get this much, you may not because of the evidence, whatever. You got this much in hand. You take it now because you don't want to litigate, because not every time somebody's involved in a contingency fee situation. Contingency meaning that you only pay the attorneys if they win. Sometimes there are plaintiffs paying hourly rates, and hourly rates for civil litigation is probably upwards of $500 an hour, like on an average scale. $350 an hour if you're on the cheap scale, but more realistically, like between $500 and $1,000 an hour. And how much does it cost to, or how many hours does it take to prepare for a trial? Probably somewhere between 45 to 70. Multiply 45 to 70 by $500, and you'll start to get an idea of what it costs to prepare for the trial. And then getting into trial, let's assume that if you're preparing that much for the trial, it's going to be a 2 to 3 week trial. And you're talking about $500 to $1,000 an hour for 6 to 7 to 8 hours a day, plus preparations. It's really freaking expensive. And so when they come up with these settlement figures, 90% of the time, the attorneys are on board. But it was so telling that Alex was the one who's like, nah, fuck that. I'm going in. And you made an interesting point earlier on. It was because of ego. Or was it because, there was something else going on with respect to the settlements? I wonder. I really wonder, because Alex wasn't stupid. Like these issues with his finances were coming out one way or the other. Did he think that he was going to be better insulated going through a trial as opposed to a settlement? I don't understand his thinking.
I really don't either. For the life of me, I don't understand.
Yeah. And so
and
this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Point. Oh, go ahead.
No, you continue.
Dick and Jim, they did all this. There was no money. Alex had no money left, and they did that 6-week trial. All the prep for it. They've done all of this appeal work. They've gone to the South Carolina Supreme Court. He has no money. Why are they doing all of this at that cost? The place they stayed, they rented this huge place, had their whole staff there, because they're not from Hampton. They're from Columbia.
Yeah.
So they stayed at this like resort type place for all of this time, doing all this trial prep and not getting paid anything. How does that make sense?
I wouldn't do that for somebody that I wasn't on a contingency agreement with, or somebody that I was personally invested in, like a family member or something like that. Like I've definitely done pro bono work, but the pro bono work that I've done, like I've done it for my brother, like I've done it for family members. I've done it for like people that I was emotionally invested in the cases. There's very few cases like that, because if you're running a business, if you own a law firm and you're running a business, like your whole objective is to make money, because you got to keep the lights on and you got to sustain your family or whatever it is, right? And so the fact that he did that, it was either because he owed favors to this guy, or it's because, there was some kind of payout that he thought was coming on the back end, or something that was going to be on the surface that everybody's going to be able to pick at and dissect. And so it was one of those two scenarios.
Yeah. I also wondered, does he have something on them?
He has something on everybody.
What kinds of things were these guys all involved in together that they know about each other?
You ever watched that movie Eyes Wide Shut?
With Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise?
And Tom Hanks. Or not Hanks. Tom Cruise. Tom Hanks would not have been the same. Because yes, he's just it would have been a weird casting decision.
It would have been so weird.
Just think of Eyes Wide Shut level of dirt that they probably
Yeah.
have on these people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
That's
Do
I
you know the
can't
whole backstory behind that movie, by the way?
uh-uh.
So Scorsese, not Scorsese, Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick directed
Mhm.
that movie. And he directed it about these secret societies. And the whole premise behind that movie, which is not explicitly stated because Kubrick did not have final say-so on the final director's cut of that movie, was basically trying to tell a story that there is a society of rich and powerful people that exist that are trafficking children for their prurient interest, so to
Hmm.
speak. Think Epstein, right?
Yep.
Right before that movie comes out, Kubrick dies under mysterious circumstances. The movie is heavily edited. But the whole thing behind that movie is if you actually watch the movie from beginning to end, the daughter of Cruise and Kidman,
Mhm.
at the very end, like they have this whole long conversation, and then she like kind of walks down this path, and they have these two older gentlemen that are like kind of like welcoming her in or like hovering above her. The whole idea was that Tom Cruise got to live at the cost of the sacrifice of his daughter, who was sexually trafficked into this pedophile society. That's the whole crux
Oh,
behind
that's
Eyes
gross.
Wide Shut. You're going to have to watch
That's
it for
awful.
yourself and just really look into it. But that's Kubrick's vision. That's what he was exposing. And he died under
And then
mysterious
he died.
circumstances.
I didn't
And it
know
was,
that.
I mean, it was when I first watched this movie, it was just like once over, whatever was that, what the hell was that about? But if you really study that film, that's what it's about. This pedophile society.
It's
Um,
creepy.
I should say no
So
more.
was he trying to expose something?
Yes, and it turns out there's really a group like that, and
Yeah.
you don't have to look very much farther than Epstein. And I'm sure that
Right.
Epstein is probably tip of the iceberg when it comes to these
Oh,
secret
absolutely.
societies.
So gross.
Yeah, and so there is a deeper meaning when it comes to that movie, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
And pay attention when you're watching
I
it.
wanna kn I wanna know the backstory now more than even the movie. Yeah,
You're
I've
gonna
never
have to
seen
watch it
the
more
movie.
than once. I
I
watched
know
it.
the movie, but
Yeah,
I've never watched it.
you've heard of it, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you might have watched it. You may have, but if you really watch from start to finish, like the overall message of that movie is really really dark, really
They
dark.
need to do a movie about the movie.
Maybe they do, or a documentary or something.
Yeah. Maybe I'll make one.
I
I'll take
know you should be the one to do it, to take it on for sure.
Yeah. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to finish up this slide, and then I'm gonna have it's like 2:13 AM here, and
Yeah,
I've
we're
got
2
to
hours
sleep
in.
because I'm, yeah, I'm
I think
flying
we've covered
tomorrow.
like the majority of like the important stuff, so we could wrap up like this last scene, and then we'll
Yeah,
carry on next
we
time.
can pick this up. I won't be gone long, so we can, I'll let you know when I'm back and, if you wanna finish it,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
for this.
finish it, and then we'll
'Cause,
do episode
this has
5.
it still has some, like, really important thing, like Gloria's funeral, all this stuff, nothing has even
Yeah,
happened yet. We're not even halfway through.
you're right. I mean, I don't know, we got so sidetracked.
Yeah.
This was the most sidetracked we've ever been on any
Yeah,
episode that we've ever done. So,
absolutely.
I
We've
blame my
covered
wife because she keeps looking at me, and it's, like, making me talk about things, and so
Okay, so yeah, let me finish just these slides here real quick that we got up. So this is Randy saying this it's gonna hurt and it's gonna hurt you, Paul, Maggie, and this firm if you drag your butt on this. And then Alex is still like being rebellious about it, like a he just reminds me of such a child standing there sipping his Capri Suns and then throwing these fits to his daddy.
is
He's
you
like, "But
who
they haven't even proven that Papa's the one driving." You know, he still thinks that he can get on that stand and change everything, that he's such a
Yeah.
magical attorney that
That's
everyone was
lawyer ego speaking. I've
yeah,
been there. Like, oh, it doesn't matter what they have because they'll never be able to prove this. And then it turns out that didn't really matter that much because
yeah,
yeah,
and the whole thing just fell apart, and everybody was, you weren't as convincing as you thought you were once your daddy was gone. Um, he says their case is thinner than toilet tissue, and Randy's like, but we don't know what's in the statements because they just found out that Tinsley's getting all the statements and all the evidence and stuff, and but he's like, oh, I'm the one that's got to pay. And then this is where we see the dad is getting really sick because he was
yeah.
yeah, he was sick for a long time.
The
He had
introduction to
cancer.
his this is it's the first time that it's acknowledged in this in this series where well, he's got lung cancer, and so
Yeah, we see him cough up blood, and you know it's gonna be bad.
right.
So, um,
Which, gosh, I
and
mean, just in retrospect, man, I mean, like you're living life, and you're going by, and you're going through like the normal things that you normally do, and then your body just fails you, and you start coughing up blood, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're okay." It just must be so shitty to
yeah,
like be in his position, like this stalwarts of the community, like this pillar of legal, whatever you want to call it, and then
and then
ultimately death comes for us all, and for it's coming
yep,
for him.
yep,
There's conspiracy theories about, hey, did Alex murder his dad? And we'll get to that later.
yep,
There's theories out there that he suffocated him because it was going to make it, overshadow the things that he did to his wife in Nepal or whatever. I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
who knows with
But
this family. One of the books I listened to or bought, I can't remember which, somebody thinks the dad came and helped Alex murder his family. I'm like, this guy was in the hospital
it
dying.
doesn't
Like,
make. I know
it
that
doesn't make
doesn't make any
sense. The
sense.
conspiracy things just they don't always make sense. A lot of times they're just absolutely insane.
Yeah,
And so like he's got the most sense of anyone. He's like, you can put 12 of the friendliest jurors that you can find in that box, but with that little girl's picture. And then I missed the last thing, but basically he's like, all they got to do is show this beautiful young girl this life lost, and there's nothing you can do to overcome this. Like, you're gonna
yeah,
lose.
yeah. That is a tearjerker for jurors. If you're in civil litigation, that is a dream case, and
Hmm.
good for Tinsley that he took it on. But yeah, that's the kind of case that's going to get you multi-million-dollar judgments
Yep.
at
And it
trial.
did,
It's
like,
it's hard
15
to.
million.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It sounds
Yep.
about right.
Yep.
And so, look, with that, we've been going for over 2 hours. It's 2 hours 7 minutes now. Cassidy,
Yeah.
you've been on with me for like 2.5 hours now. I feel like because we
Yeah.
did the other thing about the lively stream.
Yeah.
Well, we'll consider it a makeup because we didn't do anything last week because of,
Yeah.
I mean, you were in New York or you were
Yeah.
busy, you were doing things, and
Yeah. I was in New
I
York
was
all
doing
week.
things.
So,
Yeah.
but this time I'm only going to be gone for a few days, and so
Yeah.
I
So we'll
want
figure
to.
up a follow-up episode.
Yeah, and I've got the slides already, and I've got the update about Becky Hill's probation. I've got pictures of Russell Lafitte's home,
The
and I've
Mealy
got
slides. The Mealy slides, I've gotten to the point where I'm just used to them, so they're not mealy anymore. They're just like ripe.
they're so mealy though, aren't they? I was looking at them this time, and they're like worse than usual. They're so wonky. And my
Yeah.
husband was helping me like crop them and stuff because I was just like, I've been like sitting there for hours doing it, and something went wrong. And you know how I told you last time when things go wrong with computers or my printer or something, it just like it always makes me cry. I get so upset.
Yeah.
And so he's
You
like,
did say that last time. I was like, hey, you
yeah,
don't have to take it as serious, it'll be okay,
you
I
know what?
promise.
It's just something ridiculous in me that I always want things to be perfect, and then like something goes wrong, and it just the stupidest little thing, and it makes me upset. And then I got to get myself together. So he's like, he was helping crop my mealy slides because there were just so many. Look at it, got 9 scenes. I took so many. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. But yeah, but I think he went to bed. Like, it sounds really quiet out there.
You know who should go to bed? I think we should go to bed. It's like
Yeah,
11.
yeah. Like I
It's like
said,
2:30 for you. It's like
yeah,
11:30 for me.
and I've got to get up and get to the airport and
Eee. Well,
Yeah.
I got to go to work. I don't get to go to the airport, but I'm going to
Yeah.
go to work.
Yeah.
And my wife is sitting here falling asleep, and so it's
Aw.
time for bed. So
Yeah. We just carry her to bed then. Through the
yeah. Well,
forest.
no, I'm not going to carry her to bed. She's going to walk up the stairs. No, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I'll like do caveman style.
All
She's giving me a
right.
dirty look. All right, never
Well,
mind.
thank you guys for staying with us all this time. You guys are really
Yeah,
amazing. Thank you,
yeah,
Andrea. Oh,
troopers.
Christina's still here. Christina's so good. I want
She was
to
on the I want to say she was on the lively stream too. She's committed, a trooper.
yeah.
I appreciate her.
I want to find out if do you have like Amazon wish list or something? I wanted to do
I do
some
not
kind
have.
of no, I mean for her, for Christina, I'm talking.
Oh, well, if she does, do you want to give out your email address or no?
Me?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, send it to
Yeah, I can.
tilted lawyer.
Oh, you have her wish list?
Well, if you have a wish list, send it
Oh,
to my email, and then I'll send it to Cassidy.
yeah, or she can message me on X.
Or message Cassidy on X.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And in that way, we can show our appreciation for the people that
for all the hard work.
listen to us ramble. Yeah. All right, let's get out of here, Cassidy.
All
for
right,
all you
everybody.
folks,
What's that?
said for all you folks, we love you all, and we hope you have a wonderful night.
Good night, everybody.
Wonderful holidays, and we will see you all next time.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Bye.